So I have been watching this trial, at least for the past few days, and I usually don't have the energy to do this. But for some reason, I did this time, and I'm glad I did. It was really necessary because we know, we know what goes on in white people's minds when they see us. We know what some of y'all think of us. A lot of y'all. I can't even say some. Or just y'all. Like, we just know the automatic assumptions. We know the automatic assumptions that come up when you see us and when you see us in white spaces. That immediate feeling of they don't belong. And for me, this was really interesting to see them say the silent part out loud. It was traumatic, but it was validating. Um, the fact that the things that the defense had to say felt that they had the right to say in defense of the motherfuckers that shot this man. The racially charged shit, he didn't belong. Long dirty toenails. Just it was it was so gross, and I'm so glad that the jury didn't fucking like it. But the fact that she felt comfortable enough to say that, and she felt comfortable enough that that would be the thing that would possibly sway the minds of the mostly white jury is very, very fucking telling. And then, of course, all of the things that the fucking neighbors and shit had to say, breaking down in tears about, like, oh, my kids won't be get to grow up in this shit. Shut the fuck up, man. Shut the fuck up. I am. I'm so glad they didn't fall for that. And this is exactly what should have happened. But also, like, you. I think I can speak for a lot of black people when I say that we are sick and tired of seeing members of our community have to be martyrs in order for things to change. Because the fact of the matter is, Ahmad should not have had to die at all. Even though there's a guilty verdict, like, the fact of the matter is, like, tomorrow's Thanksgiving and he won't be there with his family, and his family's gonna have to deal with that loss, like, forever. But especially in the fucking holiday season, bro, that fucking sucks. I think I can speak for us when I say that we're fucking tired of seeing black bodies have to be martyrs for change in order for people to get it through their heads that shit is fucked up. I'm tired of us having to pay the price. I'm tired of us having to do the emotional labor. I'm tired of us having to lose family members. Because the fact of the matter is, guys, like, my goodness, like, I remember when he got shot. And I used to run in the neighborhood all the time. I used to run almost every morning. And then when Ahmaud got shot, the police presence in my neighborhood increased so much. Like, it was a creepy fucking amount that I remember running, and after a quarter of a mile having one of the worst panic attacks of my life, so bad that I thought I was going to die, so bad that I could not even walk, much less run. I thought that I was going to have to crawl back to my home, in which case I would have to crawl past the police, which would have been terrifying. And I thought I would have to call my husband to come pick me up off of the side of the road because I was so terrified. I had no idea how terrified I was. I was so terrified that possibly the same thing could happen to me or, like, any black person just out jogging, especially since the police decided to make a big fucking show of force. since these things started happening, which was no fucking coincidence. I started asking my husband, who is not really a runner, to run with me because he is a man. He's an Asian man. He's an Asian man, and let's be fucking real, Asian men are not seen as, in general, stereotypically, as a threat. And that was the only way that I could go running. And after a while, I just quit altogether for a bit. That's the real, like, that's the reality of what we have to deal with. And I'm sick and tired of us, black people, having to suffer for this. And so I'm talking to the fucking white people right now. The ones that say that you're on this side of fucking change. I saw a really hot take on TikTok that said non-racist white people are the reason why racism continues to persist and be a problem in this country, because y'all don't say anything. Y'all don't do anything. You've gotten so used to racist people around you in your workplaces, in your homes, in mostly white places. You guys have created this rhetoric of being able to agree to disagree. Let me tell you something. The only people that can afford to agree to disagree are white people, because sometimes the disagreement comes at the cost of our fucking humanity. So we can't exactly afford to agree to disagree. That's not a privilege that we get to have, okay? We don't get to have that, truly have that. And so I'm talking to you. If you like, I get white people in my comments a lot. I'm like, what can we do? Asking, what can we do? What can I do to be a change? I'm like, you don't have to march every fucking day. Be fucking real, because like I said, we know what goes on in some of y'all's minds when you see us. The automatic fucking assumptions. We know it because we heard it in this fucking trial, because because that's all they had, because all the justification they had was racial stereotyping to try to appeal to this white jury. Very fucking evident. So what can you do? You know the people that you're around. You know what they say when we're not in the room. You know that you got family members that are hella problematic from a different time or whatever, or maybe not even from a different time. Like maybe they just assholes. You're going to have to start calling them out and maybe even distancing yourself from them. As a matter of fact, definitely distancing yourself from them. If you don't want to be associated with that kind of riffraff and fucked up thinking, then you're gonna have to do that fucking work. And I'm sorry if it's such an inconvenience for you, but I promise you, it pales in comparison to the inconvenience that is placed upon us every time we walk outside the door. Okay? Every time we walk outside the door, it pales in comparison to our inconvenience. So if you're really about it, be about it. Call that shit out. Don't wait, like in the fucking workplace. Call that shit out. Don't wait for us to be fucking crucified and then come to us in the corner, come to us in private, come to us, outside of that and be like, man, that was so fucked up. Oh, cool. Because no one gives a fuck what we feel. Let's be real. Nobody gives a fuck what we feel. The dehumanization of black bodies has been so fucking normalized in this country that when we say things, people don't really care, because let's be honest, they don't see us as human. They're literally there's literally like scientific evidence that shows that when the average person just looks at a black person, they view us as at least a little less human, if not at all human at all. But they see you as human. But they value you. They value your opinion. They value your feelings. And that is proven over and over and over again. Do not pretend that you don't know that you have that fucking privilege. Because pretending that you don't know that doesn't make it go away. But if you are aware that you have that, use it. Use it. Use that fucking knowledge. That people actually care what you think. Use that. Use your access to these white spaces, whether it be your fucking family's Thanksgiving or Christmas table, or the boardroom, or the workplace, or whatever. You use your fucking white presence in these white places to shut that shit down. The places that we're not allowed into. Because I tell you what, this trial got us to have a look into the minds of people in a mostly white space. And the justifications that they come up with for treating us a certain way, up to fucking shooting us. It's not up to us anymore. It was never up to us. Let's face it. We've done so much fucking work. So many of us are still doing the fucking work to try and make change. But let's be honest, racism, systematic racism in this country, that's not our generational curse. It's yours. And it's your fucking responsibility. It's your goddamn responsibility. Every day. Every day. Just if you want to be a decent person, every day it's your responsibility. That is not our generational curse. It is yours. Because you're the one with the power to make it happen. Because people actually care about what you say and feel. Because we have been dehumanized so much that sometimes, most of the time, our words and our feelings don't count for jack shit. You want to do something, you want to know what you can do, that's what you can do. Because I tell you what, we are so tired. We're so tired of us having to be martyrs for change. That shouldn't be. We're tired of being exalted as super strong, as like super resilient. We're tired of that. We shouldn't have to be resilient. No one should have to be that resilient. Everybody deserves to live in peace. Like fucking life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. They said it, but they weren't about it. They wrote it, but they weren't about it. Okay? Nobody deserves to live like that, but we do. And I'm so tired of our suffering being glorified for the sake of change. Shit like this shouldn't have to keep on happening. And in order for shit like this to not happen, some of you guys might have to make the mild sacrifice of having to stand up to other white people who will actually likely not threaten violence against you just because you were running by and dared to not answer them when they asked to talk to you. Do you realize how fucking antebellum, that 1860s, that the way of thinking is? And it's still in there. It's still in there. It didn't go anywhere. We know that. But now it's been put on display. So you want to know what you want to know what you can do? That's what you can do. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving, and I know some of y'all might be facing that challenge. So if you want to be about it, be about it. The test for a lot of you may very well start tomorrow. Because honestly, aside from that, if you're not I'm tired, we're tired of white people coming up to us either in comment sections or in real life being like, I'm an ally. I don't give a flying fuck what you say you are. I don't fucking care. And I personally, Nikki, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't care. All I care about are your actions. And I may never get to see your actions, and I don't give a fuck about that either, because it's not up to me to validate you as an ally. But if you truly believe that you're an ally, you really wanted to do that, do it without needing the fucking praise. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear, I don't want to hear it. It means nothing to me. So, I'm glad they found those three motherfuckers guilty. But what it comes down to is the fact that Ahmaud isn't going to be there at Thanksgiving. He's not going to be here for the holidays for his family. And in that sense, there never will be justice for them.